In CRM, you're able to customize the PDF templates for your quotes, sales orders, invoices, and purchase orders. So this is an optional step, and you'll only need to do it if you don't like the existing system ones. So to find out, come in and open up the sales area as, say, an example. We'll come into invoices, open one of your existing invoices, or if your system doesn't have any, go and create a new invoice. Once you've got it saved, we want to come down here to the toolbar and click on Preview and Invoice, and that's going to generate a PDF invoice for me. So this is my system default. Now, I'd like to make some changes to this. So I'd like to show an email address for the recipient. I also want to rename this client reference as the client PO, and I want to get rid of project on here as well and make some other formatting changes. So come and have a look in the sales area at your PDF templates that are in the system for quotes, orders, invoices. Come down into inventory and have a look at the PDF template for your purchase orders. If you're not happy with them, we can customize them. So in this video, we're going to look at how to customize an invoice template as an example. So where we manage our PDF templates from, if I expand the menu here and come down to admin, I want to come into templates and PDF templates. So this is where we're going to do the administration work for our customized PDF templates. So the way that we customize these, it works with a Word document. So you can either start with a blank Word document and go and add merge codes to it, or you can use one of our pre-formatted Word documents. So I'll show you how to access those. If we come over to the top right corner of CRM and click on the question mark and then go to online help, that's going to take us straight to our online help resources. If we come into help articles, and the area that we want to come down to is admin, because in CRM, where we're accessing our templates is in admin and then templates, PDF templates. So we want to come into this admin area here, and we have a help page for customizing your PDF templates. You can also just come into the help area and type in PDF templates in the search box here, and it will come up with the same result. So in here, what we have are starter documents for you to use. So you can see we've got quote, sales order, invoice, and purchase order. So if I click on the invoice tab here, what's going to happen is that's downloaded a starting Word document for me. So this Word document is pre-filled with CRM merge codes. So you can see all of these fields here within the brackets. Once I click on them, they're a merge field. So this is how CRM knows what information to put in which spots. So what we're going to do is customize this document until I have it looking the way that I want, and then upload it into CRM and tell it to use that as my default PDF template. So an important point to note here is that when we save this document, so that we can upload it into CRM later, we need to save it as a doc type. So that means that when you come to save your file, in here we want it to be .doc, not docx. So making sure that that's correct, I can then save my file and start working with it. So how do I know what merge codes to add and what to remove, and what can I do with my Word document to create my PDF template? So if we come back here into admin, templates and PDF templates, we can go and tell the system what type of template we'd like to create. So I'm going to make a new invoice template. You can have multiple different copies of templates. So I could have 3 or 4 different invoice templates in the system so that I can select from them whenever I'm working with invoices. So if that's the case and you're running multiple templates, you'll want to pop a description in here so that we can tell the difference between each of the templates and what its purpose is. Now in this source name field, this is the type of PDF template that we're creating. So in this case, we're going to select invoice. Now what happens if I go and click on this little envelope over here is I'm going to get a list of merge codes. So this is giving me a field in CRM with a reference for every piece of data. And you can see that's quite a long list. So we're going to go through some common uses for some of these merge fields and pick them out as we go. So what we're going to do is take those merge codes and put them into the Word document, save it, and then upload it. So you can see here we can drag and drop a file. So we want to get our Word document ready to upload into the system. So if we come back to our Word document over here, there's a particular point to note. So when we're adding the CRM merge fields in here, we can't just copy and paste them like we can regular text. Instead, we need to insert them as a merge field. So one of the things that I wanted to do with my invoice template is add an email address for the receiving account in here. So we've already got the account name, the billing address, and their ABN in here. And now I want to add a merge code for an email address. So what I need to do, and this will be slightly different depending on which version of Microsoft Word that you're running, but we want to come up to the insert menu here, and we should have a little box here to add a field. So if we hover over that, I expand that a little bit. This one here is called Quick Parts. So if I click here and click Add Field, the type of field that I want to add is a mail merge field. So once I've got that, I then want to choose mail merge field as the type again, and this is where we're going to copy and paste our code from CRM. So what I want is an email address for the account that I'm sending the invoice to. So if I come over to my merge fields here, so these are all codes associated with invoices in CRM. So that's why when we created this, we're giving CRM a source name. It's then going and looking up that source, which in this case is the invoice, and giving us all of the different codes here for the fields that we can see and use on an invoice. So one of those here is the account. So if I click on account here, this is going to give me a range of related information for the company record. So what I want is the email address for the account. I can copy that from the page over here and come and paste this into Word here as the field name. So once I've hit OK, you'll see my field is added. I've got the appropriate brackets showing that it's a merge code. And if I click on it, it's not acting like plain text. So what I can do is go and add and remove as many different merge codes from this document as I want. So there's a couple of important things to note when you're doing this. There are some standard merge codes in the document that make it function properly that you can't delete. So this table start invoice, and I'll go through and highlight these. We don't want to touch that one because that's what tells CRM that this is a merge document. Down the bottom, we have a table end invoice. That's what tells CRM to stop merging the document, and that process should be complete. So we need those start and end codes to remain in the document for it to be processed successfully. In the table here in the center, you'll also see that we have some start and end codes. So in this case, we've got a table start code and a table end code. So what I'll do is just highlight those because we need these to stay in the system as well. Because what this means is that even though there's only one row in this table, if you have an invoice with multiple different rows, what it's going to do is create as many rows as is necessary. So we basically want these start and end codes to be here. So it's the same for our table start taxes here, table end taxes here. We need those codes to remain in the system. So think of these ones as system codes. So you can move them around to a certain extent, except for the start and end ones, but we need to make sure that they're in the document so that CRM knows how to run the process correctly. What you'll also see is in the Word document, we've just got some standard text here. So I've got invoice date up here, I've got account number here, I've got reference number here. So what I can do is make any changes that I want to these plain text fields. So reference here, I might want to change this to customer PO instead. And that's how it's going to appear with the merge code pulled through. I can call this one invoice and put a hash for a number instead of the actual word. I can make a change here. I can also go and play with the font in any of these. So I can go and pick a different font from a list. I can also pick a different font color. I can make it bold. I can make it italics. I can make it underline. And basically any of the changes I make to the plain text, I can do whatever I want because CRM is not merging information into these fields. So this is text only. So you can go and play around with those. What you can also do is format the document as you would a normal Word document. So maybe I want this information over here to be left aligned or right aligned, etc. So I can basically go and click in different areas and realign things. So if I want those to be left aligned rather than, right aligned rather than left aligned, maybe I want that to be justified, and I can basically go and play around with my formatting here and go and add different colors or change the font sizes and things like that. So once we've made our changes to the document, so I've got my PO number, I've got invoice number here, what I might also do is on the invoice, I'd like there to be a link to the original sales order where this invoice came from. So what I'll do is add some text here and call this sales order reference number. So what I want is for that to be bold. So I'm just going to highlight the text and make that bold. Once I click underneath, this is where I want to add the merge code from CRM. So we're going to come back up to Insert, come to the Quick Parts box, go to Field, and you can see because I selected Mail Merge last time, it's come back to that again for me. Click on Mail Merge, and now we're going to come into CRM and find the correct data code. So what we want to do is find the code for the original sales order. So what I'll do is I'll contract the account grouping, and we're going to scroll down a little bit further through the list, and we can see here we have an option called linked sales order. Once I click on that, that will give me all of the merge codes for the associated sales order. So what I want to do is pull through the number. So you can see here I've got linked sales order number. So I can then copy that field, come and put that into the field name spot here, and what that's going to do is pull through the sales order number. Now I don't particularly need that to be in bold, so I can basically select that field and then unbold it and save my changes. So once I've saved that, what I'm going to do is also get rid of the yellow formatting that I've put into the table because that's not necessary. And if I'm happy with it, I can save that, and then we're going to upload that into CRM. So this is where we come back into the PDF template area, and we can drag and drop the file in here. So I'll open my downloads folder where I saved that. I will drag and drop the invoice file in here. It thinks about it for a second and processes it. And what I can do then is save and close the record. Now, once I've saved and closed it, I want to basically test how this looks in the system. So does it look the way that I wanted it to, or do I need to make some further changes? So what I can do is come back into an invoice. So come into Sales and Invoices and go and select an invoice. So what I want to do is edit this and go and select the new template I've created. So here you can see we have a field called PDF template. So in here, I can select from multiple templates in the system. So the one that I just created then was called the new invoice template. So I'm going to select that one, hit save and close, and I've got the required PO field set up on this. So once I've put that in, I can hit save and close, and then we can preview it and see whether or not I'm happy with it. All right, so preview, and we select our invoice, and that's now loading. So we can see that the changes I've made to the formatting, so this customer doesn't have an account number, which is why it hasn't shown, but it's removed the word number and I now have a hash instead. I've got some underlining and they're both in italics. The customer doesn't have an email address or a postal address, so that hasn't come through. This has been renamed customer PO, and you can see that I've got a link to my original sales order in here. So I can basically go, okay, I'm happy with that, and I would like to make that my default template, or I need to make some changes to it. So if you want to make some changes to it, what you can do is open the Word document that you were working with, go and make changes to it. So add and remove merge codes and alter the formatting as we looked at before, and then come in here to PDF templates, edit it, and then re-upload your new version into the system. Save and close, check it again, and then once you're happy with it, we'll look at how we make that the system default. So once we've got our PDF templates in here, and the process that we've been through for the invoice will be the same as what you'll need to do for quotes, sales orders, and purchase orders. The only difference is going to be that when we're creating this, we're going to link it to a different source, and when we're downloading the starting files from the help site, we're going to download different starting Word documents depending on the type of template that we want to work with. So once we've got our PDF templates in the system, we need to go and tell CRM which ones to use as our defaults. Now we do that from admin and general, and then we're going to scroll down and there's a section in here just for PDF and email templates. So you can see here, I've got this section called invoice PDF template. So what I can do is go and select my new invoice template and make that the system standard. You can also select a default template for the quote PDF and also for your sales order PDF. Another thing to note is if you're creating quote PDF templates, these are paired with your web quote templates. So what you'll also need to do is go and update your web quote template. But Before we move on from this page, once we've made our changes here, we want to scroll down to the bottom and hit on Update for them to apply. So we'll have a quick look at our online quote template here. So with my quote here, I'll open one up, and what I can do is link my online quote template to a PDF quote template. So what you'll need to do is make sure that the PDF template that you want to use is selected in here and paired with your web quote template for use. So now that I've gone and told CRM the standard invoice template that I'd like to use, what will happen is when I create a new invoice in the system, it's automatically going to bring up that new invoice template that I've created. So by default, that's now going to be selected. I can always come and choose from another one if I'd like to, but it just means that if that's the one that I'm going to use the majority of the time, that's been selected for me already. So that's basically how we go and amend the PDF templates for our quotes, sales orders, invoices, and purchase orders to suit our requirements. So don't forget, come into the help area and download the starting Word documents. You can then go and amend them and add and remove various different merge codes and design the document in Word as you would if you're working with a normal Word document. Once you're happy with that, come into the PDF template area, upload it, go and test it to make sure that you're happy, and then go and tell CRM which template you'd like to use by default moving forward.